All right, so this is the kind of nonsense that has really have me a little bit upset, and people feel that I'm just bashing the TTFA. But Kieran Richards and his team were appointed into office middle of April 2024, which is over a year now. One of the promises is that we would do everything that we could to get all the players eligible for us as much as we could. That was some of the promises that they brought before they got into office, when they got into office. Why is it now, a year and something after, an article had to come out with David Naked? The heading of the article was, Naked calls on the TTFA to apply for immigration help. David Naked, this article I first saw on soccerwarriors.net, and then I saw on print media, Guardian Media Limited. So the same week we get the news about Borussia Dortmund coming to set up an academy in Trinidad, which is positive news. And I know a couple of people spoke about how beneficial that will be for us. We now have an instance where we do not have a formal request. Now, I just taken some information from the article itself. So if the article is true, let me start by that, right? International players with TNT parentage cannot earn citizenship if their grandparents are Trinbagonians. We know that. It says here, after that was said in this article, TTFA President Kieran Edwards, in an immediate response, said that he is already in the process of submitting the relevant documents. Just take into consideration, we have World Cup qualifiers starting in September. Every single time the team, well, usually it's the coach, but Kieran Richards has been questioned also. They always like to use the term due diligence. We're looking at everybody and exploring every avenue. David Naked is now a minister in the Ministry of Sport, and he is saying, according to this article, we haven't been approached officially by anyone concerning immigration laws. Just as you told me, that's how we heard it from media personnel and social media, but no one approached the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs about the grandfather law kicking in to accommodate players coming into the national team. But there has been no official word as yet. So maybe if they are interested, the TTFA would have reached out. So maybe if they are interested, they would have reached out. Maybe they met with the minister and spoke on it. So this is maybe they had a conversation. I know it was said that this conversation was started since the last administration, so probably had a conversation with Minister Shamfa Kujo, but there was nothing documented, and we have a new regime in office, obviously a new sports minister, a new team, and they are looking for the documentation to be able to help get the grandfather law changed. And what they've noticed so far and what they've said is that there's nothing in writing. So what do we mean when we actually say we're doing our due diligence? This is more than the coach. So this has nothing to do with the coach. This has to do with the whole TTFA team. Talking about President Kieran Edwards, First Vice President Colin Murray, Second Vice President Osman Downer, James Riggs, Alicia Austin, Andrew Boudou, and the list goes on. It's a full team of people. A year and something and the minister has to be following up with you all, because you all haven't made an official inquiry or an official document sending it in as yet. Is it that we are trying to set this team up, or we don't want to set this team up for success? Because these things are very, very questionable. What are we doing? How are we helping the team is a better question. These are things that you promise in your manifesto to get into the position. You got into the position, and then a year and something after, you haven't delivered clearly even a written official request to have the law changed to help the team. I don't know what to say. It just seems upsetting. It seems frustrating that all these things have to be uncovered before this late, before the tournament starts. These things should have been short-term, medium-term, long-term goals. It should have been somewhere there. But having a verbal conversation with a previous regime, possibly, because all that is speculation right now, can't really help. It should have been documented stuff, so that you have a paper trail to follow, that you'll have an email thread to follow. Let's just hope we get the act together, because things just getting uncovered more and more and more. So this is more for the administration themselves. What have you all been doing for a year and something that document not even inside? TTFA, I know we'll get it right, but always make it real difficult to support sometimes, yes? Again, like, share, and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts, and let me talk about it, because the TTFA really, really, really dragging us along.